Today, we become legends.
Hey, my name's Inter, and welcome back to the channel for some OB4 data mining that came out just recently. There's some pretty crazy stuff in this one. There's some like kind of standard data mining stuff, you know, new skins coming, new music packs and stuff, but there was also apparently some leaks that came out for a bunch of new gods that are going to be coming. We've got some models, we've got a full list of all of the gods except Nut, I believe, are going to be in the game. So yeah, some really big leaks came out. Apparently, according to the guy that posted the data mining, some regular users got access to it in like one of the PTS clients or something like that. But there's also some rumors floating around that maybe it was a disgruntled fire dev that gave this information to the data miners or something. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with it, but there's some pretty big leaks, so let's just jump right in. As always, data mining only provides early insights into what Hi-Rez is developing. Some of this stuff can change, some of it can not come entirely. This is just stuff that they're working on. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to come to the game, and it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to come to the game in the exact form that it's shown in this data mining. It's all very early stuff. But yeah, if you're watching a data mining video, you probably know that. Let's move on. So, music packs are going to be coming to the game. We did know this already, but there's actually a bunch of them listed here that are going to be coming. So we got Arthurian, Asgard, Celtic, Chinese, Boss Monster, Candy Music, and Hip Hop. Apparently a bunch more that you won't list as well. So yeah, it seems like music packs are quite easy to port over if they've already got so many of these in the files after only recently mentioning that they're going to do it. So yeah, expect that a lot of music packs will get ported over. You know, obviously the ones they have the rights to. Some music packs they probably don't have the rights to use in Smite 2. They'd have to relicense them from like external IPs and stuff like that. But any of the more standard stuff, you know, music packs that Hi-Rez own, like the Pantheon-based ones, will probably be very easy to port for them. So I would expect a lot of these music packs to come to the game pretty quickly. Chests, we saw a couple of these on the PTS. There's the Chaos chest, the Classic chest, Cross-Gen chest, Music pack chest, and also Silent Strike, which we don't know what's going to be in there. Maybe some new skins. Obviously, you can purchase rolls for the chests. Some chests may let you choose the reward, which is interesting. They kind of did this a little bit in Smite 1, where you like got a special roll where you could choose directly something from the chest. You know, maybe every certain amount of rolls on a chest, or maybe some chests just allow you to choose. They did a kind of like a pick from 3 system in some of the Smite 1 chests as well, which I think was quite cool. So yeah, maybe, you know, after like 3 rolls or something, you get to pick from 3 instead of just getting a random skin or something like that. And of course, each item has an equal chance to drop, and you can't roll duplicates. That's how it's always been. There's a bunch of skins that are going to be coming to the game here, but we have covered these in previous data mining, so I'll just scroll past them really quick. You know, you might see a couple of your favorite gods getting some skins or whatever. We did cover this in a previous data mining post though, so I won't spend too much time on it. You can pause the video, read all that stuff if you want. There's also some early skin models here as well. There's some skins that are probably going to be coming to the game. I'll just scroll past those. There's a couple of aspect related things as well in this data mining. So Baron, the aspect of the Spirit Caller, this is probably going to be the other aspect that drops in OB4 alongside Thor that they showcased earlier this week on the Titan Talk. And it seems like the idea behind this one is just that his 2 has a reduced cooldown and slows, but has much lower base damage and no scaling. This is basically just describing the exact same thing. Obviously, Consigned Spirits is not the ability 1, it's the ability 2, so this is probably a more accurate description of it. But this seems like a bit of a boring aspect in my opinion. You know, 1, Baron is already leaning more towards a tanky support role than he is as a mid laner at the moment. I almost feel like a mid laner aspect might have been better for him. But also, it's just kind of boring. You know, maybe they'll do something else. Maybe this will be part of the aspect, but maybe they'll also, you know, make a change to his ult or what his Hysteria does or something like that. We'll have to see. Again, this is all just early stuff. This is probably going to be part of the aspect, but it might not be the entire aspect because that would be a little bit boring. Fenrir is going to gain protections while channeling is 3. And then Thor, we have already talked about in a previous video. This was available on the PTS. It's pretty much ready to go. Thunderstroke, whenever you trigger it 3 times on the same god and it's always active, you will slow and tremble them, and you also get protections instead of strength from your passive. But the trade-off is that your 1 no longer double taps on the return, and Tectonic Rift has no damage scaling. And a couple of mentions of other things here that I believe were in previous data mining, but Kali, Aspect of Blood, they probably planned this like when they were originally going to bring Kali to the game in like the first 50, and then they realized, okay, Kali's not very popular, let's work on some more popular gods. And Yamoja, ability 1 debuff has 4 stacks. Yeah, this has been in the data mining for a while, I think. Haster, we talked about this already. There's no real info on it, but Haster is going to be the next deity after Princess Bari, according to data mining, which does fit with the H god that they kind of teased at Vegas. So yeah, pretty likely. You know, this could have been a few things. This could have been Haster, this could have been Hestia, this could have been a few different things, but it looks like it's pretty likely to be Haster. You know, it lines up with the H god, and data mining is generally relatively accurate. It was correct with Princess Bari. Speaking of Princess Bari, there's a little bit more ability information here, but we still don't really have a clear picture of like how she actually going to work or anything like that. We do know she's going to be split scaling. She's going to have some strength and int buffs on her passive. These numbers are absolutely massive. I assume it's probably not going to be that big. You know, 10 to 60%, 25 to 175 int, 115 strength, 10-second stim duration. Like, unless this is some kind of conditional thing, you know, maybe works with her ultimate on a very long cooldown or something, the numbers probably won't be this big. If you weren't aware, yeah, she is going to be a physical projectile god, so most likely a hunter. We haven't had a new hunter in Smite 2 yet, so it would make sense that Bari would be that. She is split scaling though with strength and int. You're gonna have some kind of bell as well that she seems to be able to like push around the battlefield. Some ability 2 information in terms of the damage and stuff here as well. And ability 3 is like a dash that has stealth with increased movement speed and adds damage to your basic attacks. So like kind of a stim, but a dash at the same time. Kind of interesting. But moving on, this is kind of like the big information of this post. And you can see a little bit down here. So we'll give this a read through. So you probably read or heard the rumors about many gods being leaked. Apparently there was a bug on 10th of February where some gods could be seen in the live client. You also probably remember Coolgoon reading a commentary about this last week on Titan Talk, which said that it was not possible or true. We were notified by the user Metal by John, and apparently it was true. We won't publish everything, but just a few screenshots with the most important things for us. The bug apparently confirmed our estimations and predictions, with the next release gods until Kali, with one slight difference. King Arthur seems to be ready too. Hype, boys, hype. We started having a theory that we couldn't confirm until now, and as we think King Arthur might be a double release with Merlin. That would make sense, in my opinion. That would make sense. They do have like in-game lore voice lines and stuff like that. And this bug also confirms Kali is being worked on as we predicted in our data minings, but as you know, she's a new Smite 1 Fenrir, so she's the next goddess. Yeah, I think Kali's been delayed quite a lot. She was originally going to be probably in like the first 30 gods or something, and then they massively delayed her. Kind of similar thing with King Arthur. King Arthur was going to be earlier, I think, and they delayed him a little bit, but not as much as Kali. There are other gods also displayed in the screenshots that were previously in our data mined list. We recommend not giving them too much importance until we can confirm them on the list of arriving at X date or patch, because they don't seem to be ready yet and doesn't mean they'll be released soon. So yeah, here we go. This is what got leaked, which is an absolute crap ton of screenshots in game of the gods models basically being ready. And if the gods model is ready, you know, they're probably decently on their way to coming to the game. And so, yeah, we'll have a look at them all here. They are, like, kind of low-quality screenshots, obviously. It's literally just a screenshot taken in-game. It's not, you know, super high quality or anything. But there's Princess Bari. We had seen her model already, so this isn't anything too crazy. We've got Guan Yu as well. Guan Yu still looking a little bit early in development, I think. You know, missing some shadows, missing some textures, that kind of stuff. But Guan Yu is already in the, like, game files in terms of a model. There's Merlin as well. Again, a little bit early. They seems to be missing a few, like, shadows and textures and stuff like that, but looking pretty good already in general. King Arthur as well, again, like the faces kind of look a little bit weird. Maybe there's some work that still needs to be done on that, but yeah, King Arthur's in the game. He's looking pretty good. Kali as well. There's Kali. She's got a couple of like model changes. She's barefoot now. She's got the skull necklace, which I don't believe she had before, but for the most part, very similar to Smite 1 Kali. Cerberus also in the game. I know a lot of people are hyped for Cerberus being added as sort of that like aggressive guardian that can kind of play solo lane a little bit. So we got his model in the game as well. We got Apollo. Apollo was data mined to be coming relatively soon-ish, so there's Apollo. Horus as well, another one that I know a lot of people are excited for, a lot of big Horus fans out there. And yeah, it seems like he's not going to double release with Set or anything, because Set's model was not data mined here, Horus' model was, and they've kind of said, you know, that they're not going to hold back Horus so that they can double release him with Set, because Set's very unpopular and Horus is very popular. Whereas it's a bit different with King Arthur and Merlin, I think, because King Arthur and Merlin are both very popular gods. Rat Tosca also in the game files, which is exciting. Rat's one of my favorite assassins. They could probably cook with his Acorns in Smite 2, so excited to see that he's already pretty far along in development. We got Scylla as well, another one insanely high requested. A little bit harder to get into the game according to the devs with some of the unique tech they have to do with like her walking animations and all of her technical dogs and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, she is already in the game files. And then finally we have Sun Wukong as well, another one that apparently is harder to make than you would think, mainly because of his transformations and his clone mechanics with his ultimate. But he is also in the game files now. You can see we've got a model for him. So yeah, that's 11 gods that we've seen the model for. So likely these are going to be like, you know, either the next 11 or like, you know, the next 11 out of like the next 15 or something like that. You know, these are going to be coming very soon to the game, I would assume, if we've already got models that were leaked on like PTS clients and stuff like that. So yeah, we know that after Artemis and Awilix, Bari is going to be the launch god of OB5, and then, you know, the next god of OB5 after that might be like Guan Yu or Merlin or something like that, and then the next few patches, not including, you know, Hasta, that we've talked about already, if it is going to be Hasta, he will interrupt this flow a little bit, because every 8 weeks we're getting a brand new god. But yeah, after Bari and like Guan or Merlin, whichever going to be the next god for that patch, you expect stuff like Arthur and Merlin and Sun Wukong, Scylla, Rat, Horus, all of these kind of gods coming to the game in the next few patches, I would imagine. You we'll probably have these by August for sure. Probably even sooner than that, I would expect, given that we've already got models for them in game. But we've also got a few screenshots here that leaked kind of like profile pages for the gods, but not their models. So we'll check these out as well. So here's that first screenshot. You can see Guan Yu there with a little bit of a model as well. But we've got Ganesh, Horus we've seen already, Hu Yi and Yanis. So Ganesh, Hu Yi, and Yanis are the main two or three on this screenshot. And I would expect these gods that don't have a model that was leaked to probably be coming after the gods that do have a model that was leaked. So after we get a bunch of these gods, we'll probably be looking more at stuff like Yanis, Ganesh, Hu Yi. This one just has Wukong, Scylla, and Ratatosker on there. We can also see Princess Bari with a bit of a card art and stuff there. Cerberus with a very work in progress card art. We can see Wheelix there, obviously. Apollo. Nothing too crazy new on this one. I don't think Achilles is listed there twice. That's kind of a bit of a weird one. But Merlin here with a little bit of a card art. King Arthur there as well. Mercury is another one that we didn't get a god model reveal for, but he has got his little page on here as well, so most likely to come kind of after these gods have come. But yeah, there you go. Some absolutely crazy leaks that went down on apparently about February 10th that have been published in the data mining. So yeah, I expect these gods, these 11 gods to be sort of the next ones to come to the game, in addition to Hasta that will also be coming 8 weeks after Princess Bari. And then all the ones that we saw in this screenshot that don't have a model, like Mercury and stuff like that, I expect those to come after these gods, I would assume, just because these gods have a completed model. They look, you know, pretty much ready to go. Maybe their ability programming isn't done yet and stuff, but they're at least in the game. We've got models and stuff like that, and they look relatively complete. But yeah, that's the big leaks. We got a little bit of an update on like when some of these gods might come as well, you know, based on the percent chance on how much of them is completed in the game files. So OB5 looks likely to be Guan Yu. So after Bari, who is the launch god of OB5, Guan Yu will probably be the next god of that update. And then Merlin and King Arthur looks fairly likely for OB6, so that would be the Arthurian double release. And then it starts to get a little bit lower on chance. Cerberus and Kali, 20% chance of being in OB7. Scylla and Apollo, again, these are all gods that we've seen models for up above. Wukong as well. And then Hasta, obviously 75% chance. You know, it might not be Hasta, but it's looking pretty likely that it will be. And of course, OB9 will be the launch of a new god 8 weeks after Bari. Also, the all gods are now included in the like data mined god list. This is just their names are in the game files. That's pretty much all we have on a lot of these gods. You know, they're not anywhere near as far along as some like these that have models or that have like profile pages in the game. But it seems like they've gone ahead and just added every single god to the game files. You know, maybe created a little bit of information on them just to make sure they're keeping track of who they need to get into the game. So this list is honestly a little bit pointless now, because basically every single god is on this list. You know, previously there was only some, but the ones that are not in pink, the pink ones are new. The ones that are not in pink were already here in previous data mining, so they're more likely to come faster than the ones that are in pink here. So yeah, just keep that in mind. We'll scroll through all of these. I believe the only god not listed here is Nut. Someone mentioned that to me on stream yesterday, so for some reason Nut isn't in this list. I'm not entirely sure why. I mean, she was the last god ever added to Smite 1, but she's relatively popular, I think, so I don't see why they wouldn't bring her to Smite 2. It's definitely possible they just haven't got around to adding her in yet and stuff like that. But yeah, weirdly, Nut is the only god that isn't here. You know, Baki Kujira's here and stuff like that, but Nut isn't here, which is kind of weird. But yeah, that's pretty much everything new in this data mining. There's obviously some other stuff that we covered already, you know, Artemis and Wheelix abilities, Guan Yu abilities, all that kind of stuff. We covered that in previous data mining videos if you want to check those out. But that's pretty much all the new stuff. It was mainly this massive leak that happened with a bunch of god models and all that kind of stuff that I thought I would cover and showcase for you guys. Let me know what you think down below. Are you excited about the next gods that are going to be coming in terms of those ones that have models already? You know, King Arthur, Scylla, Ratatosker, Merlin, Cerberus, all that kind of stuff. And I'll catch you guys for another one later on. Have a great day, and peace out, you nerds.